Okay, so I've been getting lots of questions about how to measure a print for the glasses for sublimation. So I'm going to show how I do it for the 18-ounce glasses. So you can see these are both 18-ounce, but they are shaped differently, so they're going to have different measurements. And so the measurements for mine may not work for yours, depending on where you get them from. And sometimes the manufacturer changes their design a little bit, so one shipment may look a little different than the next. But this is how you can measure, and what I do is I get a measuring tape, and I measure the circumference and the length of the printable area. And that would be this section here before it starts to curve, any of the flat area. I would measure that with a measuring tape. And this is if I can't find template measurements on the manufacturer's website. Sometimes they don't have them. Craft Express, I looked for the measurements on this one and they don't have it. So this is what we're going to do in order to print on this one. So what I did is I cut a piece of paper that was those measurements that I took, and I just wrapped it around to make sure that it fit, and then I cut it down and adjusted anything that I needed to adjust until I was happy with what it looked like. So my end result was this paper template. Now what I do is I take these measurements that I have jotted down and I go into Canva. Okay, once I'm at my computer, I open Canva and I create a custom size template with the width of 9.5 and 4.5 inches. I click Create New Design, and that'll bring me the workspace I need to fill and import my images. Then I go over to Creative Fabrica and I search Christmas glass wrap. And let's see what we can find that's cute. A lot of these are going to be made for the Libby glasses, which are 16 ounces. So if you're going to use a template, you're going to have to do some adjusting. This one's really cute. It's a scarf snowman. I think this will look really nice on the frosted glass. So let's try this one. I'm going to download it and then I'm going to upload it into Canva. Okay, so once I download it from Creative Fabrica, I upload it to Canva and I put it inside my template. And we're just going to enlarge this so that it reaches the edge there and center it. That looks good. Okay, now I download this as a PDF. I use the PDF print setting, and I also use CMYK. These are just my personal preferences. You can do however you like. If you want to do PNG and something else, that's fine. Download, and then we'll go ahead and print it. To print, I use Adobe Acrobat. I have the Pro version. I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing with the Reader. I go ahead and click Print. I have an Epson F170 sublimation printer, and I make sure that my properties are correct. I'm using an 8.5 by 11 paper on a rigid surface with high quality, and I turn off bidirectional printing, and I make sure mirror image is on. Click OK, and then I send it to my printer. Okay, so now I'm just trimming my print, and I'm trimming it down close to the design. Now, if you were using a full color wrap, you would just trim around the border of your design and then leave a little bit of white space. At least that's what I do, so that you can wrap it around the tumbler or the glass. So there I have. I'm going to actually do two of them. I'm going to do one in the oven and one in the tumbler press, because I know not everybody has the same equipment at home, and I like to show the results in instructions for both, or different ways. I'm going to go ahead and wrap both of these, make sure there's nothing in there, and we'll get the lint brush and clean them off. Okay, so I use A-sub paper most often. It's my favorite paper so far. And I also have Epson ink. So I don't use anything other than the Epson ink in my printer, just in case you're wondering. So what I'm doing now is I'm just wrapping it around. So I'll wrap it around and I'll tape it. Okay, now that I have them wrapped, you can see what the design's going to look like in there. It looks all lined up. One of them is going into the oven and one's going to go in the press. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the one that goes into the press with some butcher paper. Okay, for the one going in the oven, I'm using some shrink wrap and the heat gun. Now, a lot of people don't use this, but I like to use it. The manufacturer recommends it, so I use the heat gun and the shrink wrap for the oven. I have the oven heating up. The temperature is 356 for 10 minutes. So the oven does take longer, but we'll compare the differences between the two. I like to remove the wrap as soon as possible because the longer it takes, the harder it is to take it off. And there you have it. Super cute. And the seam would have been back here somewhere, and I can't see it. It lined up perfectly. So that's really cute. I'm gonna let that cool off, and then we'll go put the other one in the tumbler press. So the temperature setting is 375 degrees for these glass mugs. They're frosted, and we do 105 seconds, and then we turn it, and we do another 105 seconds. Okay, we're gonna get ready to turn it. There we go. And the extra noise in the background is just my fan. I turn an extra fan on because you want to make sure that you have a well-ventilated area. So let's take this thing out, and then we'll go check it out. Okay, I'll take away the paper. And there we go. Looks good. Now there was a little spot here that must have been, I don't know, maybe there isn't a spot. Okay, so here are our results. This one was the one in the oven. This one's the one in the press. These are really cute. They came out cute. The only thing is this one did have a little spot here, and I don't know why, because there was nothing there. So that's the only thing, but this one came out perfect. And like I said, this is why I like the oven. I always recommend the oven over any press because it's consistent. Usually don't have an issue. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions, just drop them below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and follow for more.